Alright, well, if you can't quite tell who this is, it's probably because it was recorded about a decade ago. It was recorded in 1963, about a decade before this artist rise to fame. This is the Skatalites, featuring the Wailers and the frontman Bob Marley when he was about 17 years old. Although this isn't quite reggae yet, it'll eventually lead to not only my topic for today, but the reggae style most of us know and that I've grown to love. My goal in talking about this subject today is to maybe expose some of you who are unfamiliar to this kind of music and to describe how it is evolved into a diverse, cross-influence genre. I will do this by first describing the history of this music, what defines reggae music, how it is constantly changing, and the influence it has on the rest of music and the industry today. As I'm sure most of you know, reggae has its roots in Jamaica, but its influence comes from around the world. The two main styles that eventually led to reggae were ska and rocksteady. Ska music was the result of overplayed jazz and R&B that came from America and flooded the airways in Jamaica. They loved the smooth horn sections and the steady beats, but felt the relaxed nature didn't quite match the chaos that was felt from all the political turmoil of the time. So cover bands would take Duke Ellington songs and Fats Waller, and they would speed them up, and they would mix them up to the point where it sounded like a completely different song. This movement became very popular, and bands started to make their own original music in the style. This ska style eventually led to rocksteady, which is very similar but slightly slowed down, and songs like the one I just showed you were the product. Jamaica really started to develop this style, and as the popularity of the guitar grew and more bassy instruments, the style started to shift once again. Behind the horns, a common characteristic arose. No matter the pace, the beat accent always fell on the offbeat, or on the second and fourth beat of a 4-beat measure, which is the musical definition of reggae. Bands started to experiment with this pattern without a horn section, and one man did it more than anyone else. Bob Marley. Although he's not entirely responsible for creating this new reggae genre, he helped develop and popularize it more than anybody. With the help of Peter Tosh, Lee Scratch Perry, and various other Jamaican artists, reggae music erupted in the late 60s. Until around the late 80s, however, most of the reggae talent remained in Jamaica. Subgenres started to evolve on the island, such as dub, which is the manipulation of existing reggae tracks through reverb, echo, and delay. Also roots reggae, which taps into the spiritual Rastafarian aspect of reggae. These styles, along with punk, hip-hop, and a California lifestyle, will all culminate to create a whole new sound and movement for reggae music. Sublime, one of the first and greatest bands ever to fuse reggae with completely different genres of music. Sublime exposed a whole new crowd and generation to the world of reggae, and lead the way for dozens of similar bands that are around today. Bands such as Slightly Stoopid, Pepper, and Revolution all fall in their shadow, and put on some of the most entertaining concerts I've been to. The live music scene for reggae is huge, and the energy that concerts emit have transpired into many other genres of music. Such as hip-hop, where rappers like Pitbull often use reggaeton beats to support their songs. Even especially electronic genres like dubstep, trance, and techno. Like this, for example. without King Tubby and his development of dub music, many electronic songs would not be around today. Yeah, so in conclusion, if you're looking for a fun, new experience, go check out a reggae concert. It wasn't until I saw my first one that I developed my love and appreciation for music all around. Thank you.
Amy, what did you think?
I liked it. I like reggae, but I didn't really know the origin or the history of it. So it was cool how he brought up how it started and how it's evolved over the years. I'm a big Sublime fan, so that was interesting. But you rely on your note cards a lot. Would practice a little more, and I liked how you kept explaining things, and then you would play a song, and then you would explain how the song related to the topic. So I thought it was good.
All right. On the delivery issues, I think when you look at us and talk to us, you do really well, but you're not doing that very consistently, so that'll be something that you'll want to work on. The audio clip at the beginning probably could be a little bit louder, but it identifies the topic very clearly. You've got an excellent thesis statement, and there's a really good preview of what the structure is going to be. In the body of the speech, I didn't hear that organization quite as strongly, although the material did flow pretty smoothly. I do think that there needed to be a couple of spots where there are signposts indicating which section of material we're at. Sometimes I just got like this as a survey of the style of music instead of an explanation of the style of music, and I think that I could have used a little bit more explanation in some spots. The audio recording, for instance, that you keep playing, I think they're good for developing interest in the presentation. The understanding part, I think, is a little bit less so. You mentioned at one point about where there's emphasis on a particular beat or they're changing something on a particular. You know what? For those of us who are non-musical, who are going through this, I'm going, okay, so what does that sound like? How could I contrast that to what's going on? I'm still not sure. I mean, I can tell the difference. I'm hearing that. But when you're talking about which beat it is, I think you need to give us an explanation of that. Have us listen to it and hear where that emphasis is and why that is different and distinctive. Then maybe even have a contrasting piece of music that's based on the same notes, melody, whatever it is, and see how it is different in comparison because of that emphasis. I could have used a little bit of explanation like that, and I thought that was an opportunity that you missed with the audio aids that you had. All right, thank you.
I had a PowerPoint.